The Mai Tai is one of the most famous cocktails of all time, but also one of the most misunderstood. I'd argue that unlike most cocktails out there where most people probably know the ingredients that are in them, nobody knows what's in this thing except for maybe rum, probably? What's worse is that I'd argue that half the people that maybe order a Mai Tai at a bar or a restaurant don't even know what a Mai Tai looks like or even tastes like. Well, let's change that today. I'm gonna show you what a real Mai Tai looks and tastes like, and if all goes well, this will be your introduction to one of the greatest categories of cocktails of all time. Let's get started. So there I was at a BJ's restaurant and brew house, chowing down on some buffalo wings and mozzarella sticks when I thought, you know what would go good with this finger food? A Mai Tai. I had just gotten into home bartending at the time and had made a few drinks of my own, and the Mai Tai was quickly becoming one of my favorite drinks that I made. And seeing that the bar had a lot of nice fancy bottles and a big menu with margaritas, daiquiris, sangrias, and recently watching videos on YouTube on 100 cocktails that all bartenders should know, just off the top of their head, no menu needed. In my naivety at the time, I assumed, well, if they know how to make a margarita, maybe they know how to make this drink. So I went ahead and ordered it. Yes, I was that guy ordering off the menu. Everyone's favorite. And then when it came out, it was this reddish, pinkish thing in a tall glass with a giant slice of pineapple and an umbrella. I was definitely surprised by the appearance. I tasted it. It was super sweet. It tasted like they mixed rum with a bunch of orange juice, pineapple juice, and a ton of grenadine and called it a Mai Tai. And everything I thought about bartending crumbled before me. And if you're asking, what's the big deal? You ordered a tropical tiki drink? It sounds like what you got was a kind of tropical style tiki drink. That's a fair question, and a lot of people probably just don't care, and that's totally fine. But for those who do care about making good drinks, understanding classic cocktails, and enjoying them, I wanted to introduce to you guys what a real Mai Tai is and why it's important. And sometimes when talking about a drink, to understand it, sometimes we need to understand what it's not, and maybe what kind of misconceptions that we may have about it first. The Mai Tai is probably the most popular style of tiki cocktail out there, maybe besides the pina colada. And being so associated with tiki drinks, tiki styles, that tropical vibe, it can be easy to confuse basically any combination of rum and juice by the beach as a Mai Tai. But a true Mai Tai does actually have a structure. It has ingredients, it has a recipe, and it has its own distinct flavor. And once you have a real Mai Tai, I'm pretty confident it's going to become one of your favorite drinks. And one that you don't only need to sip on by the pool or on vacation. And if you see something on the menu called a Mai Tai, you can usually, look at the ingredients that are listed right below it. Usually most menus have that. And if you see anything on those lists of ingredients, such as grenadine, pineapple juice, orange juice, or anything besides generally the ones that I'm telling you about today, it's not a classic Mai Tai. Doesn't mean it's going to be a bad drink or anything. In fact, that drink that I had at the BJ's brew house, my girlfriend was there with me and she loved it. It just didn't appeal to me and it wasn't a real Mai Tai. And to me, when you order a drink at a bar or restaurant and it's a classic cocktail, it should be pretty well known, and what comes out is kind of nowhere close to what the original kind of cocktail structure is. To me, it kind of calls into question the restaurant or maybe even the bartender that they didn't even really do the research to kind of get the real ingredients right. It just shows a little bit of a lack of effort, in my opinion. And it sounds like I'm dragging BJ's restaurant and brew house. I'm not. It's not their fault, and it's not the fault of the bartender that was working that night. It's just a chain restaurant and probably on me for ordering something off menu. I'm the dummy in this story, truly. But the Mai Tai is also really anyone's first real introduction into kind of tiki culture and the tiki category of cocktails, which is a wide variety of drinks that kind of came into popularity in the 1930s and 40s, made popular by tiki culture pioneers like Don the Beachcomber and Trader Vic. And I'm not going to get into the whole history of tiki, but the whole vibe of tiki is all about kind of escapism, doing something different, being creative, and making something unique and delicious while using some kind of tropical style ingredients that a lot of people maybe not have thought to use. But it's also about creating an entire experience unto itself, not just the drink, and authentic tiki style bars are some of my favorite ones to go to whenever I'm on vacation if I find one. They're usually sometimes the most fun and they have some of the best cocktails. The Mai Tai itself came during this boom in the 30s and 40s and kind of became famous as the go-to tiki cocktail of the time and really has stood the test of time over the years. Not overly sweet, nice and citrusy, slightly nutty, and the perfect complement to rum. A lot of people may associate tiki drinks with being like maybe super boozy or super sweet, but true tiki cocktails actually can be some of the most balanced and really well-crafted cocktails out there. Not just some booze in the blender, as the late great Jimmy Buffett once said. So let's get into those ingredients. Starting off with the base, we are starting off, of course, with rum. I don't have time to get into every category of rum right now. It's a lot. But I'm going to be using 2 rums. The first one being the base of the drink. This is Appleton Estate Jamaican rum. And then the second rum is going to be used for the floater on top, and you'll see what I mean. This is a slightly more aged rum from Guatemala, I believe. Yeah, Guatemala. Aged in whiskey and port wine casks. So that should be really nice on top. Truly 2 great rums right here. Highly distinct in flavor, even though they're technically the same style, aged rums. But aged dark rums can be a ton of different things. And I picked these 2 rums for specific reasons. I think the depth of flavor that you get with these are really nice. You don't have to use these rums for your Mai Tai. My recommendation to you is just find rums that you like to mix with. Try to do something more in the aged dark category. I know, like I said, that's a wide category, but those I think tend to go really well in Mai Tais. I personally like those styles in this drink the best. They add a lot of heaviness and really stand up to a lot of the other flavors in this drink that we'll talk about. Some recipes will call for a split base of rum. That means maybe like 1 ounce of this and 1 ounce of this, and maybe even a floater of a different rum on top. That's totally fine. Like I said, blend whatever kind of mix of rums that you want. But I found that if you just find one good one for the base and then one other one for the topper, that's really all you need. And I highly recommend this Appleton Estate if you're just getting into rum. About 20 bucks, you can find it basically anywhere. Next is some freshly squeezed lime juice. Keep it simple, keep it fresh. And then you have your orange liqueur. Now there's a bunch of different orange liqueurs out there. I have some Cointreau, so I'm going to be using that today. But feel free to use any kind of orange liqueur that you want. I know some people will argue that I probably should use orange curacao or a dry curacao instead of a triple sec like Cointreau is. And you're probably right, but I have this one, so I'm just going to use this one. I don't think the flavor will be that different in the end product, but I know that orange liqueurs can vary a lot between your triple secs and curacao, but just find whatever you can get. Cointreau is fine. Now, if you're into your stuff on classic cocktails, you may look at, these 3 ingredients, rum, lime, and Cointreau, and might be thinking, isn't this just a margarita, but with the tequila taken out and rum instead? And you'd be very right, except the next ingredient is what makes the Mai Tai the Mai Tai. And that is orgeat. I think it's pronounced orgeat. I used to call it orgeat, but then I heard some bartender guys on YouTube say orgeat, so I guess it's orgeat. But in a basic terms, orgeat is just almond simple syrup. That means they toast some almonds, they put in some sugar and some water, they let it simmer for a while, something called orange blossom water, it's pretty nice, and then they strain it out and it looks like this. I used to make it homemade a bunch before and it's super delicious. It goes in, it can go in any cocktail, it's really good. But the process can be long. If you don't want to do that, I have seen a few store-bought options at my local Total Wine that are pretty good. There's a bunch of brands out there, but this time we're using Gifford syrup, orgeat. As long as it has kind of that dark gray color, that's, all you really need, and it should be a pretty decent option, I think. But this is going to give it a lot of sweetness, a nice nuttiness to it, and it's just going to kind of really take the drink to the next level. Really love this stuff. And then the other things are technically optional, but really elevate this drink. Try to use crushed ice if you can. I don't have one of those kind of crushed ice machines. My refrigerator doesn't make ice like that. So what I do is I take this thing called a Lewis ice bag and a mallet, and I fill it up with ice and I crush it like a caveman. That's right. We have technology. And then of course, if you have any kind of tiki style mug or glass, this is the time to use it. And I'll always say that presentation is always a huge factor for drinks. And as for the garnish for it, I like to use a lime wheel and a nice sprig of fresh mint. You can go crazy with the garnishes like some tiki drinks will, but I'm just gonna keep it simple with this. It doesn't need too many frills. All right, let's get building the ultimate introduction to tiki cocktails. Grab your shaker and throw in 1.5 ounces of your aged or dark rum. Then we're gonna do 3/4 ounces of our fresh squeezed lime juice. Add 3/4 ounces of your orange liqueur. You can use triple sec or orange curacao, whatever you prefer. And then add 3/4 ounces of our orgeat, our sweet almond syrup, to give that signature Mai Tai flavor. Add a few spoonfuls of crushed ice and shake for about 10 to 15 seconds to dilute and chill the drink a little bit. Grab your fancy tiki glass and fill it to the top with your crushed ice. You want this thing cold to keep it cold along with that dilution. Pour the drink in, and lastly, we're going to add about a 1/2 ounce of our other dark aged rum to top the drink as a floater. Add in that lime wheel and a healthy sprig of mint to the top along with your straw, and there you go. That's how you make a real Mai Tai. All right, here we go. Beautiful drink, by the way. Get so much mint and kind of citrusy and a lot of sweetness just coming from the garnishes alone. Go in for the first sip. Oh, wow, it's nice. So balanced. That's the first thing. You see this and you think it's going to be super sweet. You think it's going to be like, just a bunch of tropical fruit juice with a bunch of rum, but I think both the orgeat really kind of balance each other well. I love that kind of equal ratio. And then the rum really comes in as a base. Like you taste the rum, but it doesn't burn at all. It doesn't have that boozy flavor. It's super smooth. I mean, you could just crush these all day, and sometimes when I'm by the pool, if it's during summer or even spring, my go-to drink is the Mai Tai. And if I got these ingredients lying around, even in my apartment, I might be having some on the weekends, even if it's snowing outside. This is what a Mai Tai is supposed to taste like. And this drink represents the kind of the tiki category of cocktails. Though I haven't even gone super deep in the weeds of kind of tiki cocktails and tiki culture and all that, it is a really incredible set of drinks out there, and if you decide to go down that rabbit hole, I'm sure you won't be disappointed. But if you're going to open that door and go down that rabbit hole, the introduction to that is the Mai Tai. So go out, grab these ingredients, and try this for yourself at home. I don't think you'll be disappointed at all. Maybe I'll go into a few more cocktails in the tiki category, such as the zombie, the jungle bird, the painkiller. But I wanted to make sure I share this one first with you guys today, because it's one of my favorites, truly one of my kind of top 5 drinks of all time that I drink kind of on a regular basis. So with all that said, I'm gonna go crush this. Make sure you stay tuned for more drinks, more recipes, more kind of home bartending tips, and anything else that you might like on my channel. Thanks for watching as always, and I'll see you later.